Hi, I'm Annika Johnson from Al Johnson's in Sister Bay. I hope you enjoy my new video series called Door County Girl. These are stories of my life, the people and places that I love, and of course how we all survive here in northern Wisconsin. You can come back as often as you like, but don't forget to subscribe to Al's YouTube channel. I'll be posting lots of really cool new videos. So let's go. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Door County Girl. Today I am here with my brother
Rolf. Hey everybody.
And Rolf has a little contraption on his arm. I think we talked about that you wiped out once in one of our episodes, didn't we? Yeah. And then you were out of commission, so.
Yeah, I'm slowly and surely getting better and better. So I had my little physical therapy today. I'm doing all right. I get to wear this for a while.
Rotary cuff. Do you recommend it for everyone?
If you can avoid the injury, avoid the injury. If you can avoid the surgery, avoid the surgery. If you have a slightly torn, just go for the therapy. But once you get it completely torn, yeah, you don't have much of a choice.
Yeah. A lot of people we know have gone through it. Rolf's going through it. I hope I never have to go through it.
I thought I was a big baby when it came to the pain, but apparently it hurts for everybody. So.
But he's not going to be doing all the motions today. I am. Yeah. So what are we making?
We are going to make an Icelandic sugar cookie, which is a lot like a lot of the other sugar cookie recipes out there. Now, the trouble with this cookie recipe was it was written in a different language, so we did our best to measure up, translate it and measure up, and it was an older recipe. So I did make a trial run yesterday, and I do know I made some mistakes, so I'm going to try to correct them today and see if the cookie comes out better. So it's really kind of an experiment for us.
Who doesn't like any cookie that comes out?
Well, as I read the recipe and I started rewriting it last night, I thought, well, we got some vanilla that we're going to put in it, but it's one of those cookies I think we mentioned before that you could add lemon extract, almond extract, you could put a thumbprint cookie and maybe put a Door County cherry on top or anything, but this is going to be the very bare bones of what we're going to put together.
All right, what are we doing first?
All right, so first what we're going to do is we're going to put this butter in one of these bowls, and you're going to cream it all up. It might be soft enough already, but because we're going to cream the butter and sugar together, but hopefully that's soft. It's room temperature. And one of the changes I made of the sugar cookie, it called for just white sugar, but I thought the cookie ended up being kind of dry, so I decided to mix it with a little brown sugar. I'm hoping the molasses might add a little flavor and a little bit moisture to it.
Pretty good, pretty soft.
Oh, there you go, good. So then I'll just slowly pour this in there while you cream it together. This is a mix of 1 cup of a mixture of half and half brown sugar and white sugar. So just gonna.
How come butter and sugar smells so good?
I don't know, it tastes good too. Because it's butter and it's sugar. And you could chase it down with a glass of full-fat cream, and then you'd really be going.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Wouldn't that be on a keto diet? Or maybe not the sugar.
Yeah, we're doing the keto diet today. Let me get this big wad of butter off of here.
Oh, don't be afraid to use your fingers because we're going to bake it anyway.
Okay, I washed my hands before this, people. And Rolf and I are the only ones that are going to eat it besides Bill and Kitten. Everybody, so. Ooh, there's a big nugget of brown sugar.
Yeah, when we start adding more things to it, it'll break up.
All right.
I suppose you could use a beater, but one of the things I'm trying to shy away from a lot of these times when these cookies get too dry or the texture is too tough is it's over mixing. Not this part of baking, but when you start adding the flour and the
I've read
other
that
ingredients.
About that. Okay. He just wants me to use my muscles here.
Yes. I'm tempted to steal it from you, but then I'm afraid my doctor
might. Watch out, because if I go like this, I'm going to whack you in your bad arm by mistake. After I.
So I had Jesper help me last. That's all right. Jesper was helping me last night, and then.
How'd that go?
That goes pretty good.
Did he put his phone down for 2 seconds?
Yeah, actually, he's like. When am I going to be on Door County Girl? So one of these
Oh, we should have him on
days.
here.
Yeah, he wants to do something. You know what he likes to make? He comes in at night and he goes on the internet and he sees, I don't know, there's some goofy website that reproduces the recipes on famous movies. For instance, The Godfather. And they say, try the cannolis. Well, supposedly there is a recipe for the cannoli that they actually serve on The Godfather.
Because they only buy it from one person.
I don't know, but maybe there was more into the script when they wrote it. But anyway, he gets that recipe and he makes them.
You know what he makes really good?
What's that?
Apple fritters.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that down to a science.
Yeah, and Steve-O, I think, helped him make that. And he also makes an excellent tempura batter, and he just fries just about anything up.
Yeah, sometimes I like it when he comes in. When we close at 3 o'clock, he'll come over because he's hungry.
And he starts making stuff.
He starts making something. So I'm like, what are you making there, Jesper? He goes, you want to make a little extra.
All right, you all good there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so now we're going to add into here. This is just flour. So actually, we can probably do it in here. You grab that wire whisk, and this is a little bit of baking soda, and just kind of mix that together.
Just so it's all mixed together.
And so when I was doing this yesterday, I would suggest if your cookie doesn't come out perfect, these might not, maybe add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. We just have to just mix it a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to add 1 egg.
To this?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you're going to add 1 egg yolk to that.
Okay.
And it only called for an egg, but again, I'm going to try to combat the dryness by adding a yolk to it.
And 1 egg yolk.
Yep. So do the whites over here.
Almost did the wrong thing.
Reverse.
All right.
And it doesn't have to be 100%. And I thought about combating it just with adding more butter, but if you just add straight fat, then you're just going to get that cookie running all over the place.
Okay.
So now you're going to mix this together gently.
I just got to wipe my
And then I'll add the buttermilk and the flour separately. So go ahead and start.
Mix this up. Nothing better than cookie dough. When my friend Julie Corden, who's one of our world famous waitresses at Al's, she is a food connoisseur. Whenever Johnny O makes cookies in the back, which is like every dang day, because all we do is eat all those bakery goodies that he makes constantly. That's why we all get a little chunky in the winter, right?
Yeah, but our absolute favorite that Johnny O makes is the coffee cake batter.
Oh, it's so good.
Julie and I are like, give us the whisk, give us the whisk.
He won't let us have any because it's so hard to make coffee cake.
Yeah, he doesn't want to waste a portion of it.
Yeah, he used to give us a little coffee cup of it, but now he's chintzy and won't give it to us because he said he doesn't have enough for the coffee cake. But cookie dough that he makes, anything like that is so good.
So all I'm adding right now is about a 1/2 cup of buttermilk, and the original recipe called for milk, but we're going to try buttermilk. And then it's going to...
Why would you want to suggest buttermilk?
Well, I'm thinking a little more of that little tartness of it and the acidity, but it's got a little more fat in it. And then it called for what do I remember?
How much did you put of buttermilk in there? You didn't put it all in there.
I'm putting little by little.
Oh.
And I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay.
So just keep kind of chopping that in there, but try not to over mix too much.
Okay.
When I got done trying these yesterday,
like fold it in instead?
Yeah, kind of just knock the sides down. I thought it would have been good in a muffin pan because it kind of had that texture. But I have nothing to compare it to, so maybe exactly that's what it was supposed to be. I've never had an Icelandic butter cookie before.
Remember how we used to fight over who got to do this because then we got to lick the spoon?
The spoon was the best part because the beaters, you just got that little sliver of dough on there.
And Mom would say, ska du slicka?
Yeah.
That means, do you want to lick these?
In the slicka pot.
Slicka pot. And we're like, yeah, hand those beaters over. Cake batter was the best.
Okay, this is a pound of flour. Actually, I lessened the flour by about 2 ounces because I thought, boy, that seems like a lot of flour. And it's hard to incorporate sometimes. I didn't want to use a mixer because I thought we would overmix it.
But actually, it's mixing in really well, and it's not that difficult to do.
Mix that in there.
Unless you have a torn
Rotator cuff.
rotator cuff, then you can't be making these. Don't do it. I gotta keep putting that stuff down in there.
All right. I'm just gonna pour it all in there to make you work at it.
Ralph tore his rotator cuff on purpose because
So
he
I'd
knows
have
how
to do
hard
all
this
this
is
stuff.
to steer, so I would have to do it because he's a jerk like that.
Oh, I wish it was.
He lets me do all the hard stuff, you know. All right. I just got to get this stuff off my spoon.
We should almost be there. And then we're gonna use that little scooper to make the cookies out. And then we're gonna have to press them down.
Did you already put the vanilla in here?
Yep, I mix it in with the buttermilk.
Oh, okay. There's just a little bit of flour I have to get down on the bottom.
I think we're pretty good there.
Looking good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got some parchment paper here. I'm just gonna put this down, pack as kind of a glue. So blow around in the oven. So I use that little cookie scoop now.
Okay.
And we're just gonna
Let me just get this off.
make these into little size of maybe a walnut or so, just like that. We're gonna spread those out.
walnut.
Should probably like 4 and 3.
Okay.
So we'll get a dozen cookies on here.
A dozen?
Yep.
Okay. Like that?
Yep, just like that.
Okay.
One more there, and one more on the end here. Keep her going. Then we're going to press these down with just the bottom of a glass and some water.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab a little bit of water here.
Got a little big.
Well, I need to go off camera for a moment because I got to get some sugar.
Will you put a little sugar on top?
Yeah, well, technically, they are sugar cookies.
Oh, yeah.
And we got sugar in them, but I kind of like the way they administer the sugar.
Okay.
So you'll see the recipe online, and
Want me to do the other tray too while you're...
now let's just do
Okay.
this one now so that everybody gets the idea.
Oh, look at the mess I'm making.
We can just do one for now. So
Hang on, let me just
yep.
wipe my hands off. How do I get so messy?
So now we're going to take that glass and you're going to dip it in the water
Okay.
and dip it in the sugar,
Okay.
and just like that. And then we're going to press these out, just like that.
Ooh,
Same, just keep doing that all the way down the line.
that's kind of cool. Is that what the recipe says?
Yeah, and you know, I thought it was a little unusual, but it's a little unusual. You could press these out and then you could sprinkle the sugar on top with maybe a sifter or something like that. I kind of like the way these got kind of crusty with that little bit of sugar on there like this.
Okay, here.
Of course,
that.
last night I used an Al Johnson blue water glass because it called for a water glass specifically.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, why does it have to be a water glass?
Probably because they're just smaller than a regular
Right.
glass.
Well, I just think when I saw the original recipe too, and it said 1 glass of sugar, and I'm like, okay, a cup of sugar.
I think I'm getting too wet here. There.
And see, you just got a little coating on there. So
Yeah.
Jesper, he had said last night, we just made them plain, and we made like a little bit of sugar frosting. In the end, that would have been good too.
Oh. Like the white kind of?
Yeah, you know, like you do. He does for his like a glazed donut almost.
Sure. I'm not going to dip it with water because I have enough on there.
And because the only rising agent in here is the baking soda, had we put a little bit of baking powder in here, the cookies would get much fluffier. So here we are just at this state. So we're now going to throw these in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes. So we'll see you in 10 minutes.
Okay. 10 minutes.
And through the magic of television, 10 minutes goes by just like that, Annika. We can pull those cookies out.
That's right. 10 minutes in the oven. Getting out these. Ooh, smell that. Smells so good.
Oh, shut this.
Look at this.
Go ahead and we can probably just let them cool a little bit, but let's get ourselves a spatula and pop them off when they're still warm so
Okay.
you and I can try them.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you want to shovel one of these off?
Do I have to use a plate like a lady? There you go.
And of course, normally we let these set up a little bit, but we're
bet
not.
you they get
we're not.
crispy.
We're not normally.
We're not normal. We
So-
are not. It's probably too hot for me. Let's see.
Light and airy.
Way different.
They're not crispy like you would figure a sugar cookie would be
They're crispy on the top where the sugar was.
on the outside. I for one think we could go with dark molasses.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I think these would be really good with lemon.
Oh yeah. Or a thumbprint cookie and a cherry right in the middle.
So this is almost like the consistency of a little biscuit.
One of those things that Mom always had with the frosting and the cherry on top had almond.
Mazzarina.
These could almost be made like a flat mazzarina, a cookie version of a mazzarina.
A mazzarina
We
is
put some almond extract in it. We put some almond frosting on it and one of those Macchiato cherries on top.
I made mazzarina once when I was bored, and they turned out pretty good. They were a little hard to get out of the tin, so I thought if I did them again, I would maybe use a little cupcake paper, whatever you call those little holders. But a mazzarina is like a little cookie. It's like a butter cookie crust, but not real sweet. And then there's almond paste filling, and with like egg in it and everything. And then you bake them in the oven, and when they come out, you put a real thin coating of
Like ice sugar.
yeah, like icing, like the
But
royal
is it?
icing.
Is it Swedish?
Yeah.
How come I've never seen them anywhere else and I've never heard them in here? But
Google it once; they're all over. Mazzarina.
right, but we had that Jewish bakery used to make them for us once in a while because he knew Mom liked them.
Right, but I think they had the recipe from when it
Oh,
was
the Swedish bakery.
bakery, so they probably kept the recipe because that's what happened.
Let's pull the second one out too.
Okay. But anyways, they're delicious, and I remember we used to get a white box at home, Rolf. Remember that?
Yep, cardboard
and there would
box.
be them in there, and we would just love those mazzarina. Mom thought mine turned out pretty good.
I don't know if you put this one on that cutting board. I don't know if they can get the whole thing on there
Get what?
so they can get an overshot of the.
Okay. They are almost like little biscuity.
So
Maybe I could have made them a little smaller.
I don't know. You could make them flatter, get crispier, but I think these are really good right now.
I mean,
this with a glass of milk would be delicious.
Or dunking in your coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happens
you
at
know
the
what?
bottom of your cup?
You get fim,
Which is?
the crumbs in the bottom of the cup from dunking a donut / cookie / biscotti / scorpa.
That
I know
Rolf made up
I
and
did
said
not
it's
make it up.
Swedish.
It's a real Swedish word. Ask any authentic Swede, and they will tell you fim is a Swedish word.
I'm going to ask my cousin right now.
Okay.
Annika,
Cousin Annika, help me out here.
hittade en
Say it's
word called fim
Ja.
in svenska, på svenska. There is ingen word for that in Sweden. Mom says you're crazy.
Well, Mom says a lot of people are crazy. But
No, you know what? You don't say it right.
yeah. Oh, she'll go, oh,
Rolf will go,
fim.
Hey, there's fim on the bottom of my cup. And then my mom will go,
Va,
what?
va,
And
va.
Rolf will say fim. And she'll go, what? And all mad at you. What?
And then I'll spell it out. She goes, oh, fim. It's like, what was I saying? Anyway, I think these are
These
excellent.
are good.
They're light. It's funny because it's not a soft, chewy cookie like, we like those Sturgis Village ones and molasses cookies,
They're not crunchy.
but they're not crunchy either. They might crunch up maybe
I
if they
love
sit. I think they're fantastic.
The edges are nice and crispy.
Well, you know what's going to be great? I'm going to take these leftovers to fika tonight.
Oh, Tommy the Tooth
Yeah,
and
Don the Builder and
Dave.
DJ Dave.
Nathan, you bet.
And we got Dahlstrom there now too.
Oh yeah, Rick is there. We gotta give him a nickname.
Well,
We have a new guy at our coffee table.
He's a local, but he spent the last 25 years in Italy.
And he's already retired and he's younger than I am.
Well,
What happened?
should have went to Italy.
I should have went. Yeah.
Anyhow, that's our Icelandic sugar cookie, our take on it anyway, from an Icelandic recipe, which we deciphered the best of our ability, and I think it turned out pretty darn good.
Yep, and I think that everybody's drooling over them out there, so we better cut this out so they can get at them before we eat them all.
So don't forget to like and subscribe to the Door County Girl website. And until next time,
Hey-do! Bon appetit!
I want to eat one of those ones that are really hot, because I think they're going to be
They're
nice
going to be hard
inside.
to get off the... Yeah, they just come right off with the parchment paper.
That's why I love parchment paper.
These are good.
Thanks for watching Door County Girl. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.